Here we go with an oracle reading for the month of July from the Cosmic Tarot with rune accompaniments. So to start left to right, we have the Ace of Pentacles with the Sewillow rune and Wheel of Fortune, and the last card, second to last card, is the Queen of Wands with the Kenaz rune. And one final card, which will jump in with the perhaps less than ideal stuff. Card at the bottom of the deck was the Seven of Cups. So we'll start there. So an energy that may become apparent at times, or an experience, is the Seven of Cups. And so we have well, it is upside down, but we have a forlorn figure with manner of cups containing things, but vague like things, or dream like things, or one could say kind of almost like aspirations. You see two faces, almost aspirations of, at the bottom of the card here, love, riches, success, fulfillment, these sorts of things, even a book, knowledge, greatness. So the Seven of Cups in this particular tarot is about a recognition of two things, really, kind of like the could have beens. So the world of fantasy. It's not uncommon a human experience to imagine a past where things had played out differently, had opened a new experience timeline, and it's an easy thing to put wish fulfillment on that, as if a life could have been better had this thing happened in a particular way. And at times we may be more prone to kind of do that when it feels like things aren't quite going our way. So it's normal. It's a normal kind of human thing to engage in. But the real advice of the Seven of Cups throughout this month is about letting some of those fixations go on the could have beens, and even letting go a bit of the, maybe even the habit of falling into that way of thinking, or even feeling at times. Thinking informs feeling, feeling informs thinking. So it can become a bit of a trap, a bit of a loop. You are in this life, you are, for reasons. There is no better than how it is now. You've chosen it for a reason. It's not to say it's the final destination or the pinnacle at all. It's just as it need be for now, as things unfold, as they should. Alright, so I will hopefully not knock any of the cards over. Here we go. So, got the less than ideal part out of the way. So I'll start with the Ace of pentacles. In other decks and traditions, this is known as discs, the suit of earth, and I was musing on this quite a bit, actually, over the past day or two, of the change from discs to pentacles. Exactly why this happened is a subject for various interpretations, but it did come about not too long ago. What I really like here is the eminence of the star. So pentacles discs are about earth, earthly things, one might say, and an ace or a one is kind of like the seed of the whole suit, containing all potentialities, a beginning point, with a journey, a growth journey, a expression journey as life takes shape and form. And I can't help but be very much enjoy in this wonderful star-like central object. It is contained, yet there's a radiance outside of it as well, and you can see this sort of path towards it, golden path, and these kind of crumbled-ish structures or earth forms, and it almost looks like a Stargate. So very much it's about portals. It's about the portal of yourself as a being, as an incarnate being on this planet. And by saying that, I mean it's like the light of your real, true, beautiful, animate, living, loving, radiating self, is what is being talked about. So for July, there's kind of a theme of identification of that within you, an acceptance of it, an allowance of it, even just a recognition is kind of enough. A seed doesn't necessarily go through its process of growth with too much overfussing. It's just allowed to be. It's acknowledged, it's mildly tended to, but not overfussed about. There's not a huge amount of need for that. So with the rune here underneath it, or paired with it, Sewello or Sewillow rune is of a very similar nature as the star. It's about health, vitality, the sun, but in other cultures it represented any heavenly body of light. So again, connections to divine emanation. You will see it's in the shape of an S or a lightning bolt, very much like a lightning bolt. So it's kind of an allowing of the natural fertility of life and experience and being a part of it to shape and grow and develop you. It's a trust in that. It's a welcoming again of that process of life. So I'll move to the Wheel of Fortune. So again, this is sort of a central card of the reading with themes about cycles. So a trust in the process or in the cycles that need to take place, will take place. And you have this lovely flower opening, six-petaled flower in the center of this card here. So very much so, it's about acceptance of the timing of things, and also not only the timing of things that may appear or may seem to be delayed in appearing in your experience, in your existence. It's also about the way in which they may appear. And at times we can be thrown off on an experience of this is not what I wanted or not what I would have chosen, or we might have had an ideal that we may have assumed was for our best or was what we really wanted or would have brought us happiness. But that may not have been the case. The things that didn't come our way, I'll just chuck this one back here, the things, the could have beens, the other experiences, the things we'd wished for or hoped for, could have led us down less than ideal paths, worse than where we are today. So it's a card about trusting in where you are now and trusting in what will come your way and when it will come your way as well. So there are cycles. We are free agents, yet we live in a world of rhythm of cycles, and there's an intelligence behind that sometimes might know better than perhaps what we envisage. And that's not to do discredit to anyone's capabilities of discerning what they want or when they want it or what's right for them. But it's kind of like trust and working with and accepting a little bit of when things don't work out as we had anticipated, or when we had anticipated, but still trusting anyway. Now, moving nextly along to the Queen of Wands, paired with the Kenner's rune. Now, this rune symbolizes a torch. So, quite nicely paired with Queen of Wands. So, a torch is, again, a symbol of illumination in a way, but it's much more a personal tool, a human-made kind of implement. It also ties into passions, creativity, so those sort of fire themes. And we have that paired with this wonderful Queen of Wands. And I really like the Cosmic Tarot for its very emotive and wonderfully expressed human figures and the faces and the look. So we have a very I would say stern, direct, stern, passionate, decisive figure looking directly straight ahead, confident. And And I really like how this is paired in the art with this small little tower in the background here. Um, so I was slightly musing on Cancer, and as we are in Cancer season, and the kind of crab, and these other themes as well. So Cancer being the crab of the water, of the realms of feeling, thinking, formation in a fluid sense. We have the Queen of Wands very much directly looking out at the world. And I see this kind of similar to the crab or Cancerian energy, is they are big feelers of emotive stuff and thinkers as well. And so what happens around them, how people interact, they take a lot in, they absorb a lot around them, and they feel a lot about all of that. And the interesting thing, they're kind of familiar with that, but there's also the need or the process to find oneself in solidity within the world around you. And I kind of get a sense this is also a call for everybody. So to step forward with confidence, with trust into the world around you. Cancer sometimes are sometimes called, or mistakenly so, called crybabies or oversensitive. And it can be easy for them to retreat to a tower or remove themselves from a world that maybe doesn't behave or interact in the ways that they might feel are important or ideal. And this is true for all of us. It's easy to retreat back into protection, into safety. But the Queen of Wands is very much advising to kind of venture bravely out into the world, or from the seas of feeling and thinking into the world in an expressive form of who you are, of what matters to you, of what's important, of what fills you with joy. It doesn't need to be grand, doesn't need to be big. It's just a slight call towards doing that. I think it pairs very, very nicely with the Kenaz rune, which is about, as I've said, creativity, passion, these sorts of things. So if there is at times a struggle of the illusions of the could have beens, or emptying some of the emotional kind of clutter of things of our pasts or of experiences that linger in unsatisfactory ways, it might be a good idea to tap into things that bring you creativity, things that fire your passions up, that you get excited about, that you gain joy from. And whatever they may be, it might be good to explore them, to do them. So things that make you feel alive, make you feel kind of engaged with life, that you have something to give to this world, that what you do, what you explore, even your experiences, that they have meaning, that they have a sense of importance, I think is maybe one way to put it. And I think kind of lastly, just touching on the Queen of Wands, There's also a slight kind of leaning towards maybe petulance. So when we have our kind of, when we show ourselves to the world, or our desires, or something we've created, or something that's of meaning or importance to us, it's kind of like wearing your heart on your sleeve, or even you invest in a hope or a dream for things to work out in a certain way. If there's a reaction that may not have been anticipated, a rejection of a sort, or a dismissal, or whatever, the advice would be to be firm in yourself, to not overreact, to accept that people are very different. They will not always see and agree and like the same things, or be the things we may wish they could be, but that doesn't diminish or take away the value of who we are, or who you are as a person, as what excites you. If you're looking for that external kind of agreeableness, or all of those sorts of things, and there's too much emphasis put on needing that to know it's valid within yourself, then it's not so good. So that may be an experience. There's just a little bit about that. So we're talking about the acknowledgement of this right here, and the important thing is that you know it, that you understand it. Not everyone will see it yet, or ever, but it doesn't really matter. It's the main point is that you recognize how divine, how wonderful, how much potential, how much light you have, how much you can give to this world, how much you belong in this world, and how much you get to create and shape it for good with your unique, wonderful, beautiful light. And I think that's kind of enough of a reading for July. I hope you all have a good July, and in the interim, before the following month, I'm quite keen to go through a series of videos exploring the runes in a bit more in-depth about them, because I think they're quite wonderful. It'll be good for me as well to do, since I've used runes quite a bit in the past, but it's been a while, and I'm really enjoying them. So, with that said, have a wonderful July. Let that stuff just, it may happen. It's okay. You don't need to become stuck in the cycle of that stuff. You can let it fall away, and you can focus on what's good and important for you. So, have a lovely July. Aroha nui, and thanks for watching.